Hi, you're with India Post Live, India's first online news conversation web TV. I'm Ishan Russell, and India Post Live is, of course, a forum where you can participate. You just have to use social media, use Facebook, Twitter, or IndiaPostLive.com. That's our website. You can get in touch through any of these three mediums. Get in touch with us, participate. You can come in via Google Hangout or Skype and ask the experts questions over here. And what we're discussing today is the future of the left. After a really, really dismal performance in the 2014 elections, the future looks really bleak. So what really is in store for the left? Well, we tried to put a story together for you. Let's take a look at that first.
It's been a downward slide for the left parties in India. Little wonder that the CPM and CPI-led Left Alliance suffered the heaviest defeat in Indian parliamentary elections in 2014. The mainstay of the left front, the CPM, has been reduced to just 9 seats, while the CPI and RSP could manage just 1 seat each. Other constituents like the Forward Bloc could not even open their account this time. While grassroots workers are vying for drastic changes in the top leadership, the Politburo of the CPM is jittery about taking major decisions. The sooner they introspect over their fading charm amongst the masses, the better it will be for their future. Or else, it will all be too little too late.
All right, to understand what has gone wrong with the left and where is it headed from here, to help us understand these issues, we have with us Faraz Ahmed. He's a veteran journalist, a person most feared at press conferences. I've been witness to that, and has been a student leader also for
at AMU, SFI convener in legal university. That's long ago.
All right, but you
1970 to 75.
Yeah, but you understand the nature of, or at least believed in the ideology. We also have Kushan.
I believe in the ideology, yes.
Yes,
I still do.
All right, so let's see whether the ideology is relevant today. Kushan Mitra, of course, is a managing editor with The Pioneer. Thanks very much for coming in, Kushan. Kushan has been very actively involved in the 2014 elections. His father was contesting from West Bengal as well, and really has the BJP has really covered ground from the left over there. So I'll start with you, Kushan. As far as West Bengal is concerned, the left is a little down. The BJP has its tail up. What is your reading of the situation?
I don't think the left is down. I think the left held on to its vote. I mean, they got 22% of the vote in West Bengal.
That's still about 8% down from what they got last time.
Yes, but you know, it still shows. I mean, despite them winning just 2 seats, the cadre still remains fairly strong. I mean, the BJP gained vote at the expense of the left and the Congress, but the left hasn't collapsed. But it still has residual vote share in every constituency. I mean, they won 20% of the vote in virtually every constituency. What is worrying for the left, though, is the fact that so many votes didn't translate into lots of seats in West Bengal, and you know, it was expected to do well in Kerala as well, given, you know, Oommen Chandy being on a sticky wicket after the solar scam, etc., etc. The left just hasn't won seats despite having a certain committed vote. And now, will that committed vote stay with them, you know, when they see there's no results? The left, I believe, needs to introspect very heavily the leadership of the left, much more than the Congress, in fact.
All right, and from the leadership of the left, we have Mr. D. Raja joining us. He's a senior CPI leader. Thank you very much for coming in, sir. But what's gone wrong and where is it headed from here? A lot of introspection required is what our panelists are saying.
I could not hear what the other panelists have said already. I understood your question. Yes, there is an introspection going on, and we have been analyzing the election results and assessing the emerging situation at different levels of our party. In fact, the CPI has called for a National Council meeting in the middle of June. Similarly, CPM has also called its Central Committee meeting. So we will do some serious introspection, and we will try to go into all political and organizational reasons for such a performance in the elections, because I admit it is one of the worst ever performance by the left as a whole and my party in particular. So we have been doing serious introspection.
Alright,
Mr. Raja, the fact remains that you have been going down since 2009, then 2011, and now 2014. And I'm sure you have done a lot of introspection. What has come of that introspection so far?
Firstly, you
What
should understand.
what is there to show?
No, firstly, you should understand in 2004, in fact, we were 61, the entire left. And 2009, we came down to 24. And this time, we have come down to 12. I understand. But when we were 61 and supporting the UPA 1 government from outside, we were under attack by all corporate houses, big business houses, and even the ideological anti-leftist forces. What was the attack? Get rid of left. Left is an obstacle. Left, as long as left is there, government cannot push through all the reforms. Get rid of left.
and India seems to have bought it in 2014, Mr. Raja. Don't you agree?
2009, when left came down to 24, even then left was under attack. What did they say? Now there is no
Mr.
left.
Raja, but then the left should have done
push
something
through
in
all
terms of.
reforms.
Many
This
are
is
saying
what
that in
they
terms
said.
of ideology, in terms of a lot of
What I
space.
am trying to say,
Yeah.
the corporate houses, big business houses have been consistently, continuously targeting the left.
Can I butt in over
On
here?
the other hand, the right-wing forces, they also trying to isolate left and marginalize left.
But
and
these two forces
Right,
have always been
but
opposed
they
to
are
you.
a natural. I mean,
they are your natural
opposition.
adversaries.
Yes, your
so they are
opposition.
going to attack you in any case.
Kushan
You have-
wanted to come in.
you have
Kushan also
grown-
had a question.
You have
Kushan,
grown
go
it
ahead.
because in spite of them.
Hello?
Corporate houses and right wing for what? What do you think
Hello?
right wing forces are supposed to do? They're supposed to sit back
Hello?
and say, "Oh yes, let the communists come."
Mr. Raja,
bunk up.
Kushan Mitra is
That's
asking a
utter-
question.
utter bunk up. The
No,
communists.
I'm not able to
this is
hear,
politics.
clearly.
You fight. Don't start. If you
I'll
start
just
pointing
paraphrase.
fingers, it's like the Congress blaming the Mossad for losing.
I'm not
yeah?
able to hear
This
them
is the left.
properly.
All right,
You cannot
he's
say
completely
relevant,
not
they
buying
shouldn't
your
say all
argument,
these
Mr.
things.
Raja. He's completely not buying your argument and
Let him
saying.
not buy my argument.
But these are your natural adversaries.
No.
I mean,
It is not the question of somebody buying my argument or not buying my argument. It is my own introspection. I am trying to understand why such a verdict was given by the people.
All
And this is what we try to do.
we understand that, sir. We understand that, and just the question of the Aam Aadmi Party also keeps coming up. That a lot of young angst would go to left. I mean, Faraz over here used to be a student union leader with you all. So, but that angst is being taken over by the Aam Aadmi Party.
No, I don't think so. I know everyone in Aam Aadmi Party personally. I know Mr. Kejriwal. I know Mr. Prashant Bhushan. Even I did go and address their gathering at Jantar Mantar. It
Yes.
doesn't mean I do not know all of them. But the point is, the left space cannot be taken over by anybody. And left has its own ideological position. Today, electorally, we might not have done well, but it doesn't mean the relevance of left has gone. You can write off left. This is what I am trying to say. The relevance of left will be felt more in the coming days, I can assure you. And nobody can write off left. Even now, the electorally, the CPI might not have won many seats, or CPM might not have won many seats. But theoretically, ideologically, politically, we have a tremendous influence across the country, all over the country. Nobody can deny this. And there is a gap between our ideological influence and the real electoral performance. This is also one issue which we are trying to analyze. Why it happens like that?
Mr. Raja, when you went and addressed at Jantar Mantar, or when your other party colleagues went and addressed meetings at Ramlila ground, and I remember Ali Javed did that. Don't you think, sir, my question is, don't you think there was a certain dilution of your ideology because you went and addressed forces which are basically inimical to any progressive ideas, and once you have diluted ideology,
I'm sorry,
this
I'm
is
sorry.
a natural outcome of your dilution of ideology.
I'm sorry, I do not agree with you because it is not ideological dilution. When I addressed their gathering, when I addressed the gathering, I stood by my commitment. I stuck to my positions. You ask anybody, I started to speak in English, and there were some people shouting, "No English, speak in Hindi."
Yeah.
Then I started to speak in Tamil. I asked them, "Do you understand Tamil? Can I continue to speak in Tamil?" Then Mr. Kejriwal ran to me. No, I'm sorry, you continue to speak in English. I will translate. That is how it happened. And Comrade Bardhan, our senior leader, told them, don't claim that you are the monopoly of all wisdom under the sun. You know every issue under the sun. There are other forces, there are other people also. So what we try to tell them, it is time they also should understand there are other forces. We are a democracy that has to be respected, and in a democracy how to take up people's issues and how to carry forward the movement in the interest of people and the country. This is what we try to do.
But sir, by sharing a platform with fascist forces, haven't you given a certain
but
amount
why
of
do you call them
legitimacy,
fascist?
legitimacy to those forces?
No. Why do you call them fascist
Well, I do.
forces?
I
How can you
insist they
call
are.
them fascist
Please
forces?
read
I do not know.
Please read Mr. Kejriwal's book Swaraj, and if you do still insist that they are not fascist, please let me know.
But the point has to be conceded that as far as the vote share is concerned, and that's what Kushan also pointed out right at the beginning, that as far as vote share is concerned, left has it intact. So Kushan, just coming back to you, as far as the ideology, where do you think the disconnect is happening with the left? What is going wrong, and the future of the left, how do you see it from here?
Hello?
You are asking me?
No, I was asking Kushan Mitra, sir. Kushan, you said they managed to retain the vote share, but from
Yes,
here on, how?
but you see, young people have not voted for the left. Doman. Young people haven't voted for the left across the country. Nobody has voted for the left. Youth do not believe this line of fascism. Youth want development. They have seen how socialist development and left-wing development has affected the country over the last 60 years. The left stands the chance of becoming irrelevant among young India. It probably will become irrelevant. The longer the left wing keeps on calling the BJP and its allies fascist, I won't buy that argument. Nobody will buy that argument. They'll become irrelevant. And I'm no friend of the left. I don't want to see them become irrelevant. But if they introspect, if they start pointing fingers at corporate houses and right-wing forces, bullshit. Utter bullshit. I mean, if these are the sort of leaders the left have, I would rather they do become irrelevant. And you see a new left, which the Aam Aadmi Party might actually become. I'm sorry, I'll have to get out after this. I have.
All right. We'll let you go, Kushan. We'll let you go, but
So,
Mr.
see you guys.
All right, see you later. But Mr. Raja, one final question before we let you go. So I know you're also busy. The fact remains that in Punjab, for example, the CPI used to be a really strong force at one point of time. The sentiment perhaps is that the AAP has won 4 seats. People really do want a party for the common people. Where has left lost that disconnect? I mean, most of the student unions across the country, sir, are left student unions. But where does that why does that not translate into leadership or young leadership? We heard Mr. Yechuri also wanted to quit. And really, is it back to the grassroots for the left from here on?
You see, we are not as other parties. I can claim we are different from other parties. The way we function, the way we mobilize the masses. Self-critically, I can address there is need to strengthen our links with the people, with the masses, and consolidate our bases, and we'll have to regain our bases which we lost over these years. This all self-critically I admit, and in Hindi-speaking region, we continue to be weak. It is a matter of concern. We are addressing this issue. But it doesn't mean we have lost all links with the people, or there is disconnect which cannot be overcome. Don't come to such sweeping conclusions. left has suffered a setback in the elections, I admit, but left will bounce back. Left will really re-emerge, because in a situation as it is today, when BJP has come to power, when the right-wing forces have come to the forefront, RSS and other Sangh Parivar outfits, it is the left which alone can fight such a right-wing the forces, and
Right.
to protect the interests of the people and the country. And you will see it, you are going to see this.
But
And
Mr. Raja,
I am not.
Mr. Raja, I completely agree with you as far as the left is a relevant force and could be bouncing back anytime. I agree with that. But as far as the ideology is concerned, the fact is India seems to have put the idea of communism a little behind it. We
No,
seem to be embracing.
I don't agree with this. Even when Constitution was made, there were many debates, and when Dr. Ambedkar was confronted, you didn't say anything about socialism and such things. Dr. Ambedkar replied, whatever I have said, the directive principles of state policy, they are nothing but socialism. And go through article by article in directive principles, or go through what Ambedkar has said about Karl Marx and Buddha, comparing
All right.
Buddha and Marx. So what I am trying to say, show me one party which has not spoken about socialism. Even the BJP at one point of time spoke about Gandhian socialism, you should understand. And Congress spoke about democratic socialism. And socialism is their part of the constitution. Every
Right,
party
but-
claims they are the real socialist party. So what I am trying to say, the ideology is there. In a country like India, no party will take rabid anti-communist position unless they are forces of right-wing which are committed to right-wing ideology. Otherwise, the centrist forces or other democratic forces, they do not take anti-communist positions. This is what we should understand in a democracy as we have today in our country.
Right, Mr. Raja, thank you very much for joining us, and I'd request you to come in and take voices from the people also, because we do have a lot of people who want to join in this conversation.
Definitely.
So we'd invite you to a studio and we'll organize a Google Hangout with people.
I am telling you, definitely, even the great Lenin, who has said, learn from the masses and lead the masses. We are always willing to learn from the people.
Alright, so
But,
perhaps you need a little bit
uh,
of technology help, so we'll at India Post Live will help you connect to the people
Oh,
for
thank you,
sure.
thank you
So
very
please
much.
come into
Thank-
the studio next time, Mr. Raja. Thank you very much for
Thank you,
joining us
thank
and
you,
being patient.
Thank you.
Alright, but for us, as far as the left is concerned, I wanted to get Mr. Raja out of the conversation because then
fair
we can
enough.
really understand what has gone wrong. And can the left recover from this? Is a leadership change required? What is required?
I'd say one thing, where I agree with Mr. Raja is, if you notice, what are the first things that the Modi government has done in these last 2-3 days? First day, the pet RSS agenda, Article 370 be scrapped. This is the first thing. The second thing was, Muslims are not minorities. This is the communal aspect of Modi-led government and RSS, BJP, Modi-led government. On the economic front, Nripendra Mishra, who is who was the telecom secretary, who was also the telecom chairman, TRAI chairman, whose name is mentioned in the 2G scam, and they made such a huge noise about it. They scrapped, they amended the thing through an ordinance to get him in. 100% FDI for the defense. Why I mentioned both these things is that the ideology as well as the economic perspective of BJP Modi-led government has come out in the open so early, so fast. After that, there is no doubt left that there, what kind of situation we are going to be facing in the coming days and months. In such a situation, left has tremendous relevance. Only the left, because Congress is not very clear on ideology. We were talking about Mr. Kejriwal. Unfortunately, his ideas, as I mentioned, I was trying to mention, are not dissimilar to Mr. Modi's ideas. He says scrap all schemes, the state schemes for Narega and other things. That's exactly what the problem corporate sector and Modi had with BJP, Modi had with this
UPA.
with the UPA. He is also for that. So therefore, all those pro-people measures, I am almost certain that they won't be able to scrap it overnight, no doubt, because of the pressure. And we have, fortunately, a decent rural development minister in Mr. Gopinath Munde, who is pro-people, thankfully. So I don't think it's going to be done. But in any case, this is what they intend to do. That is why I said that Mr. Kejriwal or his Swaraj can't really replace the slot, the space for the left. It is only the left which can go and fight.
Right.
But left in all these years, there's a couple of things that happen. First is ideological dilution. The left, the communist parties are not communist parties anymore. These are social democrats. They are more into elections and other things. Unfortunately, the Maoists that are there, they are also too limited, and their perspective is also very narrow, unfortunately. So they can't fill up that space also. But there is a space. There is a solid space, and this space is going to increase over the pace of months, and the left needs to really kind of come out and go down to the people. It needs to connect properly with the people. It has lost connect because of being in power for so long. I hope that it will come back to, yes, there is some amount of, there's a need for even a change of leaders. Some people like Lakshman Seth, who caused a lot of problem to this Communist Party of Marxists, they've already gone over. All the opportunists have gone over to Mamata Banerjee. A lot of Gunda elements is also, which has creeped into the SFI and other organizations. They've also gone to Trinamool. So that's not a major concern. But yes, we have forgotten that at the time of Siddharth Shankar Ray, the same CPM came up through mass struggles, through fighting on the streets. All that they have, they've lost that.
They've lost that edge, and we'll put that question to a student leader. We'll put that question to
hopefully
Akbar.
Will come back.
Yeah, Akbar Chaudhary joins us. He's a leader at AISA. Thanks very much for coming in, Akbar. I mean, that's the point that Farasa was making over here, that the mass movements that the left used to have, those seem to have gone missing. Why so? I mean,
or diluted. Either missing or diluted.
Hello, can I speak now? Can I respond?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, to an extent I will definitely agree, because I also believe कि जब आप लेफ्ट के बारे में बात करेंगे तो मुझे लगता है कि लेफ्ट के अंदर जो भी हिस्से हैं, CPI, CPM, CPIML, माओवादी, सब पर बात करना पड़ेगा.
सही.
और इस वक्त में जो इस बार का इलेक्शन है, मुझे लगता है ये इस सेंस में अनप्रेसिडेंटेड है कि पूरे का पूरा डिबेट एक खास पार्टी पर सीमित था. इस बार के चुनाव में हम देखेंगे तो इवन जो लोग दूसरी पार्टियां हैं जो सत्ता में हैं, इवन उनके बारे में भी बहुत ज्यादा जिक्र इस बार मीडिया ने इतना स्पेस भी नहीं दिया. ऐसा नहीं है कि सिर्फ जो मार्जिनलाइजेशन है वो सिर्फ लेफ्ट का मार्जिनलाइजेशन है. और इस वक्त में मेरे को जरूरी लगता है कि दिस कैन बी अ मार्जिनलाइजेशन ऑफ लेफ्ट एज एन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, बट नॉट ऑफ लेफ्ट एजेंडा. लेफ्ट एजेंडा भी है. अगर आज सुबह ही हम लोगों ने एक डेमोन्स्ट्रेशन किया था MHRD के बाहर, जो FYUP का पूरा सवाल है दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी में, इट वाज देयर इन बीजेपी मैनिफेस्टो. ABVP हेयर एंड देयर वॉल राइटिंग भी किया. लेकिन आज जब हम बात करने गए हैं तो वो एक बार फिर से इस पर दोबारा से चर्चा करने की बात कर रहे हैं. अभी रिसेंटली जो मोदी गवर्नमेंट का बयान है 100% FDI वो करेंगे डिफेंस में और रेलवेज में, तब उस वक्त में गरीबों को क्या होगा? यानी मुझे लग रहा है कि जिन जिन चीजों को उन्होंने उठाया था या फॉर दैट मैटर बाकी और एजेंडा को उठाते रहे थे, वो सब तो लेफ्ट का एजेंडा है. तो ये एक सही बात है. और इस वक्त में मुझे लगता है कि इस सारे पूरे कॉन्टेक्स्ट में एक बात जरूर है कि लेफ्ट को फिलहाल तकरीबन 4.4 to 5% वोट आया है, वो भी ऐसे वक्त में जहां पर त्रिपुरा के एक्सेप्शन को छोड़ दिया जाए तो कहीं और पर लेफ्ट पावर में नहीं है। उस वक्त में ये एक बात हो सकती है, लेकिन इसको कहते वक्त मैं जरूर ये कह रहा हूँ कि ये कोई एरोगेंस नहीं है, हमारी अपनी जिम्मेदारी है जिसे हमें रिकॉग्नाइज करना चाहिए। लेकिन अगर ये आप आम आदमी पार्टी के बरक्स देखें, जिनको 2% वोट आया है, उससे लेफ्ट का वोट स्टिल ज्यादा है, जिसे बार बार लोग कह रहे हैं कि लेफ्ट की जगह पर आम आदमी पार्टी आ गया है, ऐसा डिबेट भी सुना। तो अभी मेरा मानना है कि आज जो है डिमार्केशन ज्यादा साफ है। नरेंद्र मोदी गवर्नमेंट आ जाने के पास एक सतह पर लेफ्ट के लिए ज्यादा स्पेस है, और वो स्पेस लेफ्ट संसद के भीतर कम, सड़कों पर ज्यादा लेगा। और ये बात साफ हो जाती है दिल्ली में पिछले कुछ दिन पहले जो 16 सितंबर का आंदोलन हुआ, जो को लेकर आंदोलन हुआ, जिसमें तमाम वो स्टूडेंट्स और खास तौर पे जेएनयू के लेफ्ट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन पुस्तकी के साथ में मौजूद थे। तो इस बात के चुनाव को इलेक्टोरल एक डिफिट जरूर है कि मुझे लगता है कि एजेंडा अभी बाकी है, और जिस तरीके से नरेंद्र मोदी गवर्नमेंट ओपन अप हो रही है, मुझे लगता है आने वाले हर दिन में ये बात ज्यादा साफ हो जाएगी, जिस बात को हम स्पष्टता से समझ रहे थे।
Absolutely. Thank you very much for coming in, Akbar. We let you go. I know you're busy and we've almost run out of time on this discussion. Thanks very much for coming in and sharing your perspective. Faraz, final word to you. And there are a lot of comments coming in on Twitter for you that Faraz is telling all kinds of lies about AAP. That's Bappa Mukherjee writing in. AAP is a fascist organization. It wants to scrap Narega. Why is no one challenging Faraz on this canard? Would you want to elaborate on that, just to respond to
It's there. It's there. Please, Mr. Mukherjee has to go back and read Swaraj. I should have brought the book and I can read it from, I have marked passages, and I am going to, by the way, write on my blog. I have it ready. I have waited. I didn't want to kind of spoil their chances in the elections, and didn't want to influence that. But now that the elections are over, of course, I'll write a 2-part serial on what all Mr. Kejriwal has written in his book called Swaraj.
All right, fair enough. There are other comments that have come in, and we would encourage you to keep writing. And in fact, Murari Bhatia has written that the unsuccessful Tata Nano story might be the reason of the left's rout. But as far as the economic agenda is concerned, I think that is where most people are doubting the left. But as you correctly pointed out, that now with the Narendra Modi government declaring its economic agenda, that space for the left is opening up again.
The problem, the tragedy is, when they left, of course, they did it in a very ham-handed fashion. But when the left government in West Bengal felt that yes, they have lagged behind in industrialization and they should make a sincere effort towards industrialization, they were pushed out.
Right.
They were making an effort to make themselves more modern, more pro-industry. That's when they were people kind of rejected them. And they accepted Mamta, who's neither here nor there. So that's a fact.
Right.
I mean, it is a very unfortunate thing. But left never wanted Nano to go away to this. Left gave them the space in Singur. Nothing has happened in Singur.
All right, so perhaps the left really needs to rediscover itself. Let's see what happens in the Politburo and the Central Committee meetings.
It does. I quite agree that the left has to kind of reinvent itself and rediscover itself. And mind you, by the way, we had written off left in Europe and in Latin America, and now you see, with a vengeance, it has come back. Yes, but that the way the Communist Party of the Soviet Union worked, that kind of working cannot work. It will not work.
All right, so left has to stop living in the past and perhaps orient itself for the future. Thanks very much for coming in, Faraz. It was a pleasure having you on the show. Well, that was a little presentation on the future of the left. What do you think about the left parties, their future? Do they have space anymore? Well, write into us, tweet out to us, use Facebook, get in touch, and we'll for sure air your views. Thanks so much for joining in.